This quarter. Yes. That's for the quarter. This is cotton. Cotton. Yes. One kind of. Yes. Yeah.
ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। So the first verse, what does it do? It glorifies the Bhagavad Gita as a goddess, as a worshipful goddess who is going to rain the nectar of immortality by transforming my own vision of myself as a mortal, as hopelessly identified with the body, mind, sense complex. And then from there, what does it transform to? As someone who is beyond death, beyond endings, beyond everything. This is the glory of the Bhagavad Gita. And then the next verse honors who? Lord Vyasa, Bhagavan Vyasa, for the for writing the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata. Vyasa is, as I told you, some of his greatness we saw yesterday. And even more, we are astounded because just like we talk, he used to compose. Extempore, in perfect meter, he used to compose. And so he could not write and talk at the same time because his hand, in those days there was no pen, pencil, typewriter. You had to do stencil. You had to stencil the leaves, and that was not an easy thing. And so you had to do the stencil, and then it would take time. But his mind was already 6 verses ahead by the time he wrote down verse number 1. So he thought he will get one kind of a secretary to keep up with him. All the people who could have functioned as ancient stenographers and secretaries said, Namaha, not me. We can't keep up. Then finally, he went to Lord Ganesha, the story goes, and then Ganesha may look slow moving and look very tamasic, but don't be fooled by the big belly. Yeah, because he's very fast here, very fast in thinking, slow moving perhaps, but fast in thinking. And so Ganesha agrees, but Ganesha puts a condition. Ganesha says, okay, if I'm going to write, I should be writing all the time. Not 1 minute should the pen come from the stencil come from the leaves. I should not be able to, you should keep me busy. Vyasa said, okay, and he also put his own condition. What was his condition? You should understand everything that you write. And the Mahabharata is not so difficult to understand, but suddenly we will find that certain very twisted verses come, and this was to keep Ganesha busy so that he could think. So we know how many times he had to stop to think, to compose ahead, so that from these verses we know, from the very difficult to understand verses, they were what should I say, like a wordle game for Ganesha. He had to figure out the meaning and what all this is about. So this is Lord Vyasa, and he is glorified in the second one. The address directly. Hey Vyasa, Namaha Astute. Salutations unto you, O Lord Vyasa. Salutations unto you. And what kind of a Vyasa is this? Vishala Buddhe. Vishala Buddhihi Yasya Saha. Vishala Buddhihi means the ones whose intellect cannot be measured. O Lord Vyasa of immeasurable intellect. And then and the face is also described here for the sake of upasana. For the sake of understanding and upasana, the face is also described. And the face, Vyasa is supposed to have very, very big eyes. So the eyes are described as fully blossomed lotuses that extend from the ear to the forehead. Big eyes. Pulla ayata. Pulla is full. Okay, yeah. See, the Sanskrit and English have so much in common. Pulla means full. So, ayata, stretched. Patra. Patra netra. Pulla, Pulla aravinda ayata patra netra. Aravinda means, what does it mean? Lotus. So, lotus. So, the lotus, like a fully blossomed and stretched lotus, very pleasing, you of having pleasing eyes, because the eyes, they say, are the windows to the person. So you look at the eyes, the eye contact is what you see, and you can tell, okay, this person very likely will be very friendly. Another person you look at and say, okay, better to stay away from such a person. So these are all clues. The eyes gives the first clues about the personality and about the person. So ayata patra netra. Patra means like a what is that? The petal, lotus petal, like a fully blossomed lotus petal. The eyes are. Yena, by whom? By you, by whom? Yena tvaya bharata taila purnaha. So by yena prajwalitaha. The yena goes with prajwalitaha. By whom was lit up? What was lit up? Jnanamaya pradeepaha. The lamp of knowledge was lit up. By whom? The lamp of knowledge, Bhagavan Vyasa lit up in so many ways, by authoring the Puranas, by all his contributions, by writing the Mahabharata. And here the Mahabharata is also glorified along with Vyasa, because the Mahabharata is a place where knowledge takes place. Why? Because it has Bhagavad Gita inside it. And even otherwise, even if it did not have Bhagavad Gita, there are a lot of positive and negative archetypes. Archetypes, like, for example, Duryodhana. How not to be, we learn from Duryodhana. Shakuni. His name should have been Apashakuni, bad luck. Okay. So, Shakuni, Duryodhana, all these funny characters are there. How not to be like them, we learn. Yeah. So, and then there are positive characters like Dharmaputra, Yudhishthira, etc. So we learn how to be more and more like them. So the Mahabharata is a veritable treatise of knowledge. Laukika knowledge, Vaidika knowledge, Vedantic knowledge, everything together. The Mahabharata is a compendium of knowledge. It is said about Mahabharata that whatever you find in these pages will be occurring everywhere. Whatever you don't find here, you will not find anywhere else, meaning every gamut, the whole gamut of human relationships and everything is included there. So then if the lamp the lamp of knowledge has been lit, for to light a lamp, what do you need? Let me give you a hint. The correct answer is not electricity, okay? So what do you need? Oil. The oil is the Mahabharata. Bharata Taila. So the way the Maha is omitted for the sake of meter here. So to make it precise, Bharata Taila Purna. So the lamp of knowledge is filled with the fuel, which is what? Mahabharata, and that was lit by you. येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितः. So the lamp of knowledge is still burning because here we are getting ready to study the Bhagavad Gita. So that is the second verse. Prapanna parijataya stotra vitraikaparnaye ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. Now it is Krishna's turn to get glorified, and after all, he is the protagonist in so many ways. He drives the Bhagavad Gita forward. He drives the whole Mahabharata forward. He is presented by by Bhagavan Vyasa as Lord Krishna, not just one more character. And so this is to praise Bhagavan Krishna, one of the two verses which we will be doing that. And so this is the first one. So Prapanna Parijataya. Parijata is supposed to be a wish fulfilling tree. Parijata you can find here also. Some flowers will be falling. You can see there. It has an orange stem, a very characteristic orange stem and off-white little serrated edges. So this is Parijata. It is supposed to be have originated from heaven, and it is supposed to be a wish fulfilling tree. You sit under the Parijata tree and then meditate for whatever you want, and it will come. So now you know what to do in your spare time. Okay, so it is supposed to definitely come true. So all else fails, that is there. Okay, so then here Lord Krishna is supposed to be the wish fulfilling Parijata tree. I think there is even a story because that's why it is the origins of it are in heaven. I'm not very good with all these stories, but I think it has to do with Satyabhama and Rukmini. And then he planted the tree in one yard, and then the other one got very upset. So he made the flowers fall in the other yard. So everybody was happy together. So this is Bhagavan Krishna. And so Prapanna Parijataya. So Prapannanam, for Prapanna, pra plus pat means the ones who have surrendered. Ones who have surrendered unto him. Prapannanam parijatah yah sah tasmai prapanna parijataya. So prapanna parijataya means the one who is a wish-fulfilling, boon-giving tree for those who have surrendered unto him. You see that how it is? So, what about those who don't surrender? No wishes come true. Because why? You're not invoking. If you invoke, then only that person becomes a source of giving. Otherwise, it's not a source of giving. So, prapanna parijata, yeah, to the one who is a wish fulfilling tree for the ones who have surrendered unto him. Then totra vetraika panaye. Totra is a stick, vetra is a whip. Both of these are needed to control what? Horses, to manage the horses. Horses are sense organs in the Bhagavad Gita. And so, Lord Krishna is the buddhi that manages these with a little whip and a stick, guides them away from the ditch. What is the ditch? Sense objects. So, guides them away from all the various ditches to walk on the road of dharma and reach the truth of oneself. It's all very metaphorical. That's why even in the Bhagavad Gita, you have five horses and Lord Krishna holding the reins with a whip in the hand, but turning towards Arjuna and teaching him. So, Lord Krishna is the buddhi that guides the sense organs to walk on the path of dharma and not get distracted by nonsensical things along the way. And so, Totra Vetraika Panaye, the disciplinarian. Krishna we just see as someone who is laughing, talking, and having a good time all the time. But there is also behind it a great discipline. That's why he's called Hrishikesha for this reason. People think the name of this town is what? Rishikesh, the hair of the rishis. No, Rishikaha. Rishikaha means sense organs. Rishikanam Ishaha. Rishikeshaha, the Lord of the sense organs. So the sense organs, even though he's cavorting freely with the gopikas and he's eating butter as though there is no tomorrow, there is a great discipline. There is a great discipline inside. It's just outer Leela. That's all it is. It's a play. Why? Because he knows who he is. So it's a total play. And then outside, what you see is, in Krishna's case, we can say, what you see is what you don't get. Yeah. Usually, what do we say? What you see is what you get. Here, what you see is definitely not what is underneath. What is underneath is a great mastery over the sense organs. That's why he's called the Lord of all the sense organs. He has full mastery over the sense organs. So here, Totra Vetraika Panaye. In one hand, he's holding the whip and the Ankusha, the stick, and in the other hand, he's holding the reins to manage the disobedient emotions for us, to manage the disobedient sense organs that keep going towards where they should not go, and then to manage them, he is present. And so, unto that Krishna Namaha. And then, in the other hand, maybe he had let go of the reins for a bit. Here he's showing Jnana Mudra. We already saw Jnana Mudra, correct? Also known as Chin Mudra. Don't say Chin Mudra means I have to hold it near my chin. No. Chit plus Mudra, Chin Mudra. So, this is the Jnana Mudra. So, Jnana Mudraya, the one who is the embodiment of this Jnana Mudra, Krishnaya. And then, what else? Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. Gita is Amrita. Amrita is the knowledge of oneself as immortal, as not subject to any kinds of problems, fears, tears, endings. The knowledge of the limitless self is Amrita. And then it is in the form of the Gita. And then the cow does not milk itself, does it? No. Cow may have lots of milk. And then what else? There is a trick to milking the cow. If you go and try to get the milk, all you will get is a kick. Okay? Milk won't come, kick will come. So, therefore, what you have to do, you have to be an expert milker. Nowadays, there are all these milking machines and so very boring. Before, these cows and all would lend themselves to wonderful Vedanta imagery. Yeah, and then the milk used to be very pure and all these things we'll see. Now it is just, and that's why it's driving people to become more and more vegan. Because the milk industry is just very cruel to the cows, to the animals. But this was at a time when milk was seen as a very sattvic food, not anymore. Milk was seen as a sattvic food where you're not taking the aches and pains of the animal, you're not taking it onto yourself, you're not producing the milk by adharmic means, you're not torturing the cow by keeping it permanently pregnant, and you're not injecting growth hormone and antibiotics and all kinds of horrible things. This was that time where it was just all natural. So then Krishna is an expert milker, milker of the knowledge of the Upanishads, as is going to be talked about in the next verse. Sarvopanishado gavaha Dobha Gopalanandanaha पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्. Yeah. So now, continuing on the same metaphor, all the Upanishads are cows. And in a field, there'll be many kinds of cows. Spotted cow. Spotted cow means Kathopanishad. Small cow. Ishavasya Upanishad, because it's a small Upanishad. And then what else? Big cow. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Huge cow. Maybe it's a bull among the Upanishads. And then another cow. Chandogya Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad. Like this. Sarva Upanishads Gavaha. All the Upanishads, let us visualize them as cows grazing peacefully in a field. And then we have the expert milker who does not get a kick, and the cow does not kick the bucket of milk also, and everything is nicely preserved, fresh milk is available for everybody. Who is that? Gopala Nandanaha. Gopala is cowherds. So many cowherds are there. The one who delights all the cowherds with his presence, the one who tells all these stories, makes light work. Otherwise, tending cows the whole day can be very boring. But Krishna, with his antics, used to make light work of all that. And when he was a baby, also he used to delight the cowherds. Why? Because they would have to carry less milk. Most of it he would drink. And so, like this, with his antics, he used to delight. He used to steal the milk, he used to steal the butter, and delight all the people who are the cow tenders of the cows, the women and the milkmaids and the men, everybody. So the delight of all the cowherds is Lord Krishna. Who is he? Dogdha, Dogdhr. Dogdhr, it is the agent pratyaya, agent suffix called trich. So r it becomes like er. So here it becomes r only, but here there it is er. So in English, so milker, dogdha. So when you decline it in the masculine, dogdha, feminine, dogdhri, like this. So this is the milker, dogdha gopala nandanaha. Then the milk of the cow is for whom? You scare me when I ask you a simple question and there is total silence from so many, the whole class. Yeah. Yeah. So, milk is for whom? Huh? Yeah, for the baby. Milk is always for the baby. Don't say it's for all of us. No, that would be the wrong answer. Milk is for whom? For the baby, for the calf. Partho Vatsaha. Arjuna is this calf. Arjuna is the baby. Arjuna is the baby who is going to get the first and full helping of the knowledge of the Upanishads, because he is going to drink directly from the mother, which is the Upanishad, and then so Partho Vatsaha. So the Vatsa means calf. So Arjuna is the calf. Arjuna is the calf for whom the milk, the mother has produced the milk. Why is Arjuna singled out? Because if there were no Arjuna, would we have had Bhagavad Gita? No, not at all. No Arjuna, no Bhagavad Gita. And since because of him, we are all benefiting from this knowledge, so the Gita Dhyana Shloka gives him a nod and says, you are the one who came to Lord Krishna and you are the one who said, teach me. And we'll see all that. Shishyasteham, I am your Shishya. Shadhi mam. Shadhi is not Shadi, okay? Yeah. Shadhi, teach me. Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam, teach me who is completely surrendered unto you. Please teach me. So this is what he asks for. And since when the knowledge is asked for, it is given in plenty. This is the command given to the teachers. Do not deny anybody who asks for the knowledge unless they are pickpockets or adharmic or not fit to be taught. Then you don't give. But if somebody comes, a sincere seeker, comes to you and says, please teach me, that person is not denied. The teacher's compassion overflows in the form of completely giving the knowledge. And then at the same time, it says, do not give this knowledge without being asked. Don't go around the street corner and say, Vedanta, Vedanta, Vedanta. Who wants to come? Who wants moksha? No, don't do that. Don't do that. So therefore, this is so since Arjuna surrendered himself and asked for this knowledge, he is being given the first helping of the milk of the Upanishads. Then the cow usually produces more than what the calf needs. These days, what they do in the don't even get me started on in the milking industry. They just keep the calves away from the mother. Totally, just tie them up somewhere else. They don't even this thing, and then they put the milking machine and get all the milk first and leave whatever is little bit is remaining for the calf. And only girl calves they will keep and allow them to grow. The boy calves they kill. This is how it is in most of the Western countries. It is very sad. Let's not go there and get depressed. Let's come back here. So then we have Partho Vatsaha. Since there is more milk overflowing after the baby has had the milk, then the other people can also enjoy. The other people becomes the bhokta, the enjoyer. Who are these other people? Sudhihi. Don't say a person called Sudhir because it says Sudhir Bhokta. Oh, I know who is the one. It must be Sudhir. No. Sudhihi Bhokta. Sudhir Bhokta. Sudhihi means the one whose head is on their shoulders. My head is also on my shoulders. What do you mean? The one who makes right choices. Discrimination. Discrimination. Between what? Nitya, Anitya. What I want, what I don't want. Having discrimination, having the buddhi to have vairagya. Drop the things I don't want. Why am I catching hold of them? Or rather, why are they catching hold of me? Let me allow those things which do not matter to drop. So, Partho Vatsaha Sudhihi, those who have the proper minds, their minds have made the decision for moksha, their buddhi is in the right place. That is what I mean by they have the head over the shoulders, not somewhere in the sky. They become the partakers of the extra knowledge of the Upanishads flowing from the Upanishad cow in the form of the Gita. The Gita is the milk because it is culled from all the Upanishads, and then if we have the right attitude, we also get to drink of this nectar of immortality in the form of the milk of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the knowledge culled from every Upanishad that is there. Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. Mahat means some tickle in the throat, don't worry about it. So Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. Mahat means great. Great Gita from the great Gita or the great milk of the Upanishads, which is being distributed here to whom? To the people who have value for it. That is what it is. So if you go somewhere, if you just go a little bit that side from the main gate or a little bit this side from the back gate and tell everybody we are having wonderful program, 3-month classes are going on. Please come. Sit in Upanishad class. Sit in Gita class. They'll say, no, I don't have time. You say, no, 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 I insist you make time. You come today, at least one day you come. And then what will happen? They will sleep off or they will get up and go. Why? Because the value for this knowledge is not there. Until the value for this knowledge arrives, we cannot partake and enjoy this teaching. To enjoy the teaching also, some effort has to be made to cultivate the right values and attitudes. Otherwise, you'll just be bored and you'll think this doesn't affect me at all. So that is the Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. This is for Upasana purposes. Because otherwise, if you say Krishna is just the embodiment of Ananda and knowledge, it's very difficult to visualize. Until I visualize, I cannot focus the mind and pray. Pray for what? For the Gita to touch me. For me to be touched and transformed by the Gita, I should be in the right place at the right time. My mind has to be cultivated to that place. And so the prayer has to become real. And so when the prayer is real, then the result of the prayer also comes very easily. So for that purposes, we visualize Lord Krishna as the son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva's son, Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Deva means self-effulgent, Bhagavan. And that is how, what am I? Self-evident. Self. What is Bhagavan? Self-evident self. In the form of Sat Chit Ananda. Everything is evident to me. And who am I evident to? Myself. Everything is evident to me. Everything becomes evident to me. The table becomes evident to me, chair becomes evident to me, mic becomes evident to me, doors and windows become evident to me, floor and ceiling become evident to me, room becomes evident to me, outside the room becomes evident to me. What about me? How do I become, to whom do I become evident? Huh? I am myself evident to myself. This is how the whole Vedanta Shastra is centered on this self-evident self. If the self was not self-evident, we would have nothing to study about. Self is not Pramana Siddha, it is Swatas Siddha. Pramana Siddha means it is made evident to me by a means of knowledge. Like even this book. How does this book become evident? I see it, I hold it by touch And by look, I can say this book is evident to me. This mic is evident to me. Everything in the world needs something to be evident, and that is this conscious principle, this I who is aware of everything. I, the awarer, is need not be made aware. No pramana in the world can make me evident because I'm self evident. Oh, but you kept talking so much about pramana last so many days. I was dreaming about pramana because so often you were mentioning it. Pramana is for what? To remove the wrong notions, not to establish the existence of I. The existence of I is self established, swatas siddha. Whereas the establishment of all other things is by the self evident self operating a pramana and bringing everything to light. There is a very big difference. So here we are looking at Krishna as Upasya Murti. Upasya Murti means um, a how do we say this? Bhagavan with a form and a name for the purposes of meditating upon him. Vasudeva Sutam, the son of Vasudeva. Devam, self-effulgent, who is in the form of self-effulgent, awarer of everything. In other words, awareness itself. Awareness, consciousness, we use synonymously. Awareness. And then what? Kamsa Chanura Mardanam. Kamsa Chanura, who are they? Baddies. Okay. Yeah, so these baddies have to be sent away. They have to be given moksha, and then so that the world can be a safer place. And really, Kamsa and Chanura are what? Raga, Dvesha within ourselves. So, I entreaty, I look upon Lord Krishna as the slayer of demons called Kamsa and Chanura, whether they be outer demons or inner demons, in the form of doubt, anger, jealousy, fear, confusion, likes, dislikes, prejudices, preferences, all these in the form of kalmashas, these asuras exist, and the slayer of these asuras is Bhagavan alone. Kamsa Chanura Mardanam. Devaki Paramanandam, the delight of Devaki. The delight of Devaki, the delight of all people. Actually, everybody loves baby Krishna. If you go to a room full of people and say, please raise your hands who do not like baby Krishna, nobody will raise their hands. Nobody. It's not possible at all. So the delight of the baby Krishna invokes motherly qualities in both men and women. So everybody feels like hugging him, taking care of him. He invokes that. And motherly quality means what? Just unconditional love. That is what Krishna is. That is what he invokes in all of us. All these motherly qualities. And so, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande. Krishnam Vande means I salute, I bow down, I worship this Krishna. Who is he? Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru means what? The Guru of the whole world. How can somebody be the Guru of the whole world? How is that possible? It is possible if the message that this Guru has to give is applicable to everybody in the whole world. If it is a universal message which transforms one from being a sad person to a happy person, that is the universal message. So, Bhagavan dealing with Vedanta, which as we have seen in the previous sessions, is universally applicable. So, therefore, it is what? A universal message. Therefore, he is a universal Guru. Very nice. Now, the Dhyana Shloka shifts to the other characters in the Mahabharata. भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी हैवर्तकः केशवः सा उत्तीर्णा खलु उत्तीर्णा रणनदी. So Sa Nadi, that terrible river, Rana Nadi, the river of conflict and warfare. Rana means terrible river, horrible river of warfare. Uttirna was successfully crossed. Tirna crossed, Uttirna fully and successfully without coming into any kind of problems, crossed. By whom? Crossed means it's passive voice, right? So by whom? Pandavaihi. By the Pandavas, this horrible river was crossed. Why was the river terrible? Let us see. So the river will have two banks, right? Bhishma and Drona, the eldermost people here. Bhishma, Pitamaha, the grandfather of the clan, and then who else? Dronacharya, again very revered as a teacher. Unfortunately, as we will see soon, after finishing this, when we look at the context of the Bhagavad Gita, we will see that they all took the wrong side. Everybody who had some stature, they all went to the wrong side. Terrible. But anyhow, so Bhishma and Drona are the banks of the river. Jayadratha is a king who is a warrior there, is the water. Jayadratha Jala. And then in the middle there is a blue lotus. Oh, how sweet, you say, and you swim towards it trying to pluck it, but you get entangled in the seaweeds. And then you go down, glub, glub, glub. What is this blue lotus which looks very nice and attractive? Shakuni, the mastermind of the fall of the Pandavas. Shakuni was the Gandhari's brother, uncle. Yeah, uncle of this Pandavas who plotted their downfall. So looks very nice. He was very polished, very educated, very soft spoken. And then behind he would do all kinds of nefarious activities when nobody was looking. So that's why he is the blue lily in the middle of the blue lily in the middle of the river, whose terrible, what is that, waterlogged reeds and all these roots you don't see, but you go near trying to catch it, and the roots suck you and entangle you down. Shalya, another Shalya is he was actually Karna's charioteer. He was actually a okay person. But anyhow, Shalya Grahavati. Grahavati means, what is that? What is Grahavati? How to explain? Crocodile. Shalya is the crocodile, and Kripena Vahani. Kripa, another Acharya who was a warrior. And so he became the speed of the river. And he is to be visualized as the speed of the river. Kripena Vahani, Karnena Velakula. Karna, we'll see who Karna is. Karna, again, the son of Kunti, unacknowledged son of the Pandavas, the brother of the Pandavas. He was unacknowledged because Kunti had him before she was married, and so therefore he was unacknowledged and adopted out to some charioteer couple. And he grew up with a chip on his shoulder all the time. He could not fit in. He could not fit in with other children of other charioteers. He could not play with. He thought he was better than all of them. And then, whenever he tried to come to the palace, they would not let him. So he grew very, very resentful and went to the wrong side when the war broke out. We'll see all that. So, Kripena Vahani, Karnena, Velakula. Velakula means these kinds of undercurrents, various kinds of waves and foam and all these things. Then, what else? Ashwathama and Vikarna, the youngest of the warriors, Ashwathama, Arjuna's son, Vikarna, the youngest of Dhritarashtra's sons, they were what? Ghora Makara. The terrible looking sharks, crocodiles, all biting things, okay? Anybody, anything you can see. So, and then Duryodhana is saved for the last. What is he? Whirlpool. And I don't mean washing machine, okay? Or any electrical appliances. So, original whirlpool which goes like this, and even here in Ganga we have. That's why even the expert swimmers sometimes go inside that and get caught. Very difficult to come out. So whirlpool is Duryodhana. Again attacking from behind and having, he was like a master conniver along with Shakuni, tried to bring the Pandavas down. And so Duryodhana Avartini. And then this kind of a river was crossed over successfully. This terrible river of battle was crossed over successfully by the Pandavas. Why? For one reason and only one reason alone. They had an expert boatman in the form of Sri Krishna, Keshava. Keshava is the expert boatman who knew how to steer clear of this blue lily, how to steer clear of all these kinds of whirlpools, sharks, crocodiles, etc. And so, this is how the Pandavas successfully crossed the battle river. The bloody river of battle was crossed by them successfully because of the grace of Bhagavan Krishna. And then what does it mean for us? That, well, sometimes we find ourselves on the banks of a dilemma. They say horns of a dilemma, but in keeping with the metaphor here, we are on the banks, one is on the banks of a dilemma, whether to go here or go there, listen to this person or that person, do this or do that. One doesn't know, one is just caught. But if the buddhi is functioning correctly and if the buddhi is surrendered to Bhagavan, then we will come out of this conundrum just like the Pandavas before us came out of this kind of a terribly conflict-ridden situation. That's the idea. Parasharyavachas sarojamamalam ईतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे. This is again a nod, a prayer to the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata itself. And so it says like this: Parasharya. Parashara is here Vyasa. Parashara, Parasharya, Parashara Putra. Parasharya Vachaha. Vachaha, words. The words of Vyasa. What are they? Amalam Sarojam, a spotless lotus. Lotus is always spotless. Why? because even though it grows in the thick sludge, nothing touches it. It has small, small hairs on the leaf of the lotus and on the petals, so that even if you take some sludge and throw it on the lotus, it will just slide off. So, like this, that which is the words which are free of any kind of blemish, infallible words of the of Vyasa, which are like a lotus. So the lotus words coming from the mouth of Vyasa, infallible and blemish free. The blemish free lotus, like a blemish free lotus, these words overflow out, and they are what? And this lotus is further described. And then the blemish free lotus may be the Mahabharata, and then the Gita is the scent, Gandha Utkatam, the strong and the heady and lingering scent of the Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita. The lotus is located in one place, but the scent is where? Everywhere. Everybody is attracted to the scent and comes to study the Bhagavad Gita, comes to study the Mahabharata because of the Bhagavad Gita. And so, therefore, Gandhotkatam, Nana Khyana. Akhyana means Akhyayikas. Akhyayikas means little stories. And boy, Mahabharata is full of stories. And it's very crazy making, because it's a story within a story, within a story, within a story, within a story. And I have stopped because I don't know where you are. But that's the beauty of it. You can get lost in each and every story. So here, Nana Khyana, Nana Akhyanas. So many Akhyanas are there, stories are there. They are the stamens. So, and then they are the stamens, and then Nana Khyanaka Kesaram. Kesara is the stamens. Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam. So the Harikatha is the glories of the Lord, is what makes this particular lotus shine and be very, very attractive, and invite everybody to partake of this, of these deeds and all these things. Nana Khyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam. And then the lotus attracts what? Flowers attract what? Bees. Okay. Yeah. So here, who are the bees? Because the bees are licking their lips. Ooh, nice lotus. The description is making it very attractive to these bees. So who are these bees? Satjanaha, Sajjanaha. Sajjanaha means the people who are committed to Sat, who are committed to understanding themselves as Sat, one meaning. Sajjanaha means dharmic people also, meaning both those things are needed to gain to partake of the nectar of this lotus in the form of the Vedantic teachings. All these things are needed. What is needed? First thing that is needed is to know that I really want to know myself as Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is here shortened form of that. So I want to know. They have to go through privations. They have to go through some deprivation. They may not have everything. If they tell the truth, maybe certain things will be taken away from them, but they will rather risk that than lie. Dharma has become them, and so what will they do? They will keep on wanting this dharma alone. And once the person is firmly established in dharma, Vedanta is a walkover. Really, that's really what it is. If the raga dveshas subserve dharma, then Vedanta becomes very easy to assimilate. So, loke sajjana shatpadaihi. So, these are the six-footed ones. So, these are the sajjanas, these are the bees. Six-footed one means bees. And why the 6 feet are, because bees, so many words are there for bees. Madhukaraha, they could have said. So many. But why Shatpadaha here? Shatpadaha here is a nod to all the qualifications, the sixfold qualifications. What are they? 1 foot is Shama, another is Dhamma, third is Uparati, Fourth is Titiksha. Fifth is Shraddha. Don't forget Shraddha. Sixth is Samadhanam. So these are the six-footed bees who are equipped with these 6 feet. That the feet are the foundation of this knowledge. So the foundation is very strong. In addition, they have dharma. In addition, they are committed. They are jigyasus, committed to sat. And these people, ahaha, ahaha, aharahaha, day by day, day after day. So just like we say day after day in English, in Sanskrit we say aharahaha, aharahaha. So day after day, loke sajjana shakpadaihi, day after day, aharahaha, pepiyamanam muda. This delight in the form of this delightful Gita in the form of the teaching. The teaching nectar is imbibed. Pepiyamanam is repeatedly drunk. Because once you drink, it's not enough. It's not enough because there is so many things that are fully not understood. That's why Shvetaketu in the Chandogya Upanishad had to say, so many times he had to say, Bhuya eva Bhagavan Vijñapayatu. Oh my God, that was so delightful. Can you please tell me again? Again. One never gets tired of listening to it. And so Pepiyamanam, again and again, they take the delight of these teachings. Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsi. So this lotus in the form of the Mahabharata, the Gita is which scent? The scent of which is the Bhagavad Gita. Naha Shreyase, may it take us to moksha. Shreyas is moksha. May it take us to the most beneficial place, which is moksha. Nahashreyase, may it be good for us. Even if somebody is not interested in moksha, if they have dharma and they study the Bhagavad Gita, their daily life becomes much, much better, much less full of strife, fear, etc. So Nahashreyase means may it be hitakari for us. What? This Pankaja, this Mahabharata lotus, may it help us to gain moksha. May it prepare us to gain moksha. Why will it do that? Because it is Kalimala Pradvamsi. Kali is what? Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the terrible yuga in which we live, where dharma is standing on one leg instead of 4 legs. The dharma bull is standing on one leg. If dharma is standing on one leg, it will be toppled over any minute. And that's what we see happening. Wars everywhere, and then strife and conflict. What else? Defrauding cases. That's why you can't even make a phone call to anybody without listening to a government message. Don't believe in all these social media, get quick rich schemes, all these things. One big message will come in all the languages, in all the phones. This is the age in which we live. Kali means kalmasha, strife, fear, pain, sorrow, all this is Kali. So, and what is this lotus? This lotus is Kalipradvamsi. This Pankaja is Kalipradvamsa. So Kalipradvamsa means that which destroys the ills of Kali Yuga. The study of the Mahabharata, the study of the Gita makes you transcend Kali Yuga completely. You can just breeze along, just like the lotus lives above the sludge and does not get affected by the sludge. You too can just breeze along, rising above the sludge of the Kali Yuga, and you can just be completely unaffected by that, provided I am like the bee. What kind of bee is it? Shatpada, with endowed with the 6 qualities, dharmic, and committed to the knowledge. And then mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे Paramanandamadhavam. Here also, for the sake of upasana, certain glories of Lord Krishna are given. Not only glories, it's also because the last verse has all this talk about preparation and taking the honey from the nectar from the Mahabharata lotus. That does give a certain hopelessness. I can't be like that. I am not this bee. Yeah. I don't even know how to just be. Forget forget becoming a bee. So what to do? I'll never get this knowledge. Finally, here we are taken to the grace of Bhagavan. So the knowledge takes place not just by my own efforts. My efforts are needed. You can't just say, if Bhagavan is meant to give this knowledge to me, let him give and sit in the bed and not come to class. You can't do that. That excuse I will accept if you have the same attitude when the lunch bell rings. If the Bhagavan is meant to for me to eat, somehow I will be fed. If you have that same attitude, tathastu, no problem. But if you are appearing for every meal, even before the bell goes, and then yet saying, having this lackadaisical attitude and saying what? If Bhagavan wills, knowledge will come. Why I should try hard? No. You have to make your effort. Because there is a very nice saying. I'm going a little bit away, but it's worth it. No? There are 6 things in life that are in our hands. And when we have those 6 things, then Bhagavan becomes a helper, helping hand. What are they? Udyamam, hard work. Sahasam, the enthusiasm. Because hard work I'm ready to do, but I'm doing it. Yeah, so hard. That's not a good attitude. Udyamam, sahasam, dhairyam. Dhairyam is the fearlessness, courage. Buddhihi, some kind of ability to think outside the box. You don't have to think outside the box all the time. Only in times of emergency and something you need to be creative on the spot. You can't say, this is what I was taught, this is, I am a rule follower and I'm going to follow this rule. You can't do that. That time you have to use the resources in the form of buddhi. Buddhi, shakti. Shakti means all the other resources. Buddhi, intellectual resources. Shakti, material and physical, mental resources. And then parakramaha. Parakramaha means the ability to see a project till the end. Shadete yatra vartante, where these 6 abide, tatra devaha sahaya krit. There Bhagavan lends a helping hand. We can repeat this. Udyamam sahasam dhairyam. Buddhi shakti parakramah. Shadete yatra vartante. Tatra devas sahaya krit. Udyamam sahasam dhairyam. Buddhi shakti parakramah. Shadete yatra vartante. Tatra devas sahaya krit. So even if I'm making an effort, there are many blocks along the way, and the blocks are more or less internal. And the internal blocks is in the form of hopelessness. What is hopelessness? I'll never get this knowledge. And then you meet somebody who's studying Vedanta for 20 years. And then what? And they also say, I've been studying for a long time. Even then suddenly one feels shorter and smaller and gets this sinking feeling, so that one realizes and one understands that I have made the effort and let go, and the Bhagavan's grace will give me this knowledge, because that grace can move mountains is given in the next verse. Very nice. Mukam karoti vachalam, where the grace of Bhagavan, Yat Kripa, Kripaya, by whose grace the Muka means the person who cannot speak, the mute person. Mute person becomes what? Vachalaha, a great orator. Great orator. And we have seen this. We have seen in the Shastra itself. Panini was the greatest grammarian, was slightly dull, never understood anything, sat by the river and just cried. And then the Acharya's wife came one day and told him, "No, you are a good boy, you are wonderful, you will definitely study this and learn this." And then he was able to turn himself around and become a very great grammarian. And then this Kalidasa, one of the greatest poets, was seen as Mandabuddhi. He was also mute, never talked, did not answer, did not know how to talk, and look what all he has composed. I mean, without a par, without nobody can even come close to him in composition, in his mastery of the language. So these things, magic happens. In fact, the teaching itself is magic. Ignorance is one magic, and then teaching is a magic of magics that dispels this ajnana. Then the ignorance is no longer magic. Ignorance becomes like a small child's magic, where you can see through. And so panguhu langhayate girim. The pangu means what? One-legged person. The lame person can scale the mountains. By whose grace? Tam Madhavam. Madhava means Ma is Lakshmi. Dhava means the husband of Lakshmi. The consort of Lakshmi means he who is without scarcity. He who has all the resources with him. So who is that? Paramananda, in the form of limitless Ananda. Him I invoke, so that the words of the Bhagavad Gita flow in my head effortlessly. May all the buddhi blocks, building blocks, ragadvesha blocks be completely decimated by His grace. This is a very beautiful prayer. Then, last one. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेद what is that? वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा What's that? Pashyanti yam yoginah yasyantanna vidusura suraganaha devaya tasmai namaha. The last verse is for the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is what? Bhagavan. So the last verse is to glorify Bhagavan, who is praised, Stunvanti, and who is praised by everybody, all the devatas, Indra, Rudra, Varuna, all these devatas function under this Ishvara, at Ishvara's command, so to speak. They all worship and glorify this Bhagavan. And not only, you can say, okay, devas are somewhere in some celestial realm. What is it to me? And then not even that, even the Pandits and the scholars of the Samaveda and other Vedas, Sangha, Vedai, Sangha, Upanishad, Padakramaihi, because there are different ways of chanting, and all those ways of chanting are talked about here. All those highly erudite Panditas also praise in the form of the beautiful hymns of the Samaveda, and then Gayanti. Some of them dhyayanti, some of them gayanti. Then not only that, dhyana vasthita tadgatena manasa. These yogis who have worked, striven hard for freedom from ragadvesha. And what do? They meditate. And in that state of meditation also, it is just a prayer to this Bhagavan alone. It is this Bhagavan they invoke. It is this Bhagavan they revel in. It is this Bhagavan they abide in. Pashyanti means manasa pashyanti. They, in their mind's eye, those who have this darshan of Bhagavan as non-separate from themselves, yogis and jnanis and people who are rishis and all of them, then even though they worship them, they don't know neither the beginning nor the end of Bhagavan. Yasya antam na viduhu. Suraha, Suraganaha cha. So the minions of Devatas in heaven, they don't know the end of Bhagavan because this Bhagavan is limitless. Tasmai Devaya Namaha. My salutation unto that nameless, formless one, which is the truth of myself, which I may please discover in these upcoming pages. Very beautiful Dhyana Shloka. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ